we're gonna move, because otherwise we'll end up sliding down and crashing. And we don't want that.
Also, when I was in the guitar shop, something very special and a little bit weird happened.
Wow, it looks like we're going to an invisible campsite, because it doesn't look like it exists.
In the summer of 22, we shipped our van from the UK to Canada, beginning a road trip that will take us down to Argentina. We've made it to the otherworldly deserts of New Mexico, and if you're wondering what winter is like in the desert, well, it's not that much different to anywhere else. Subscribe and join us for the ride. This is episode 18. From a very windy New Mexico. We left you last week down at the otherworldly and alien-like landscape of White Sands. We've driven about 2 hours north. We're in this beautiful free dispersed campsite just off the old Route 66. It's awesome. Sorry, the wind is shaking the camera like mad. Wow, okay. But yeah, we're on a bit of a special mission this morning. Some of you will know that back in July my dad passed away, and I have a little bit of inheritance from him, which I've mostly used to plug the hole in my savings from shipping the van over to Canada and the fiasco in Serbia. But that isn't a very good use of his legacy or anything like that. And I want something to do with that money that's meaningful. One of the things that me and my dad loved and we bonded over a lot was music. We loved music, we loved the same kind of music. He introduced me to so much music, and a lot of my core memories with him revolve around music. And he had this beautiful 12-string guitar that was his pride and joy. And I think it's January, it's the year of new beginnings, of learning new things. I think it's time that I learn how to play that 12-string guitar.
Joe, we've been here for 2 days, not seen a soul. I'm gonna take a wee in the bush right next to the road, and a car drives past out of nowhere. I was just like, oh.
Got the flasher on the loose.
Let's quickly turn around. Yeah, couldn't believe it, 2 days. Chesca's gonna be in a band. You wanna sing? Well, oh, they're all gonna be in a band. Wow. Nope, say, yeah, come back, baby. Like a travelling circus.
But it's not Santa Fe, is it? It's San Jose.
Oh,
do you know the way to San Jose?
Is that what it was? Yeah. Go on then, go and get yourself a bloody guitar.
I'm just in Candyman Strings and Things with Hayley, who's helping me pick out a new guitar. This is such an amazing, amazing shop. We're looking at some Yamahas at the minute.
The action on this one's super.
Is it quite high?
It's very, very high. Sound.
This one I really am drawn to. I love the look of this one.
I love these ones too. This one has really nice action. It's player's choice too with the action. There's no right or wrong. It's out of tune. Let me. Well, the hardware. This is also Yamaha. Look how cool that looks.
I know, it looks like it's ready.
I know.
So Hayley also has a camper van.
I do.
So she's gonna come and have a look at Sophia, and I've got my guitar, yeah.
Oh,
it's a bit messy because we're driving,
this
so
is
just.
so cute.
But
that's so brilliant.
Oh yeah.
The wall. now that we don't live in it, we were like thinking about doing some renovations, updating some stuff.
Yeah.
We have our bed permanently set up.
Pretty small and light.
Oh wow.
This
It
is.
matches your
Oh, it
cabinet.
does. That is really nice.
So
It's
beautiful.
quite a lot smaller than the other one. It's a Yamaha Astoria. And it's got this like beautiful like white wood. And then it's got the gold hardware. Really nice sound. It's got these like little inlaid bits here.
Ah.
So that is my new guitar.
So nice to meet you. Meeting you. Enjoy your
Thank you for all the
guitar.
help. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so that was a very successful mission to go and get my new guitar. Haley was so lovely and so helpful, and that guitar is beautiful. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's the one. But neither of us have had any breakfast, and we are very, very hungry.
Already lunch now.
I know, it's already lunch. David and Diane from the New Nomads have recommended, they used to live in Santa Fe, and they said you have to go to this restaurant. It is the best New Mexican food in Santa Fe. We're 7 minutes away, so that is where we're heading. Also, when I was in the guitar shop, something very special and a little bit weird happened, which I'll tell you about when we've stopped. Is it here?
You have arrived.
David and Diane recommended some of the best dishes to have from here, so I'm going to put my full trust in them. I've ordered what they recommended. Never heard of things before. Ben is dying, having the salsa.
Oh, that was chilly.
I can't.
It's a heat that dies off quickly.
You're right. Blue corn chips. Fresh salsa. One thing you must know about New Mexico is that it is really, really famous for its chilies. And there's a whole lot of like history and tradition behind it, which I'm not gonna go into here, but you'll see like chilies on massive billboards, every restaurant, even on like the car registration plates, there's chilies. So it's a big thing here. And one of the main ways to eat it is in a sauce. And it's either red chili sauce or green chili sauce. Now, one of the things that David and Diane told me to have was called chili relleno, which is basically a whole roasted chilies stuffed with cheese, deep fried in batter, and then coated in chili sauce and sour cream. And if you want to be a local, you have both of the chili sauces, which is known as Christmas style, red and green. So that's what I've got. Ben has got some chicken taquitos. We've also been told to get these sopapillas on the side.
It's absolutely gorgeous. 10 out of 10. Spanish rice. Hola. Spanish rice.
Oh, shut up.
It's really good.
Oh my god. I would not have ordered this if I'd seen it on the menu. I'd have been like, looks too stodgy. That is absolutely amazing. I've got to try these sopapillas with honey drizzled all over. Oh my god, that is amazing. You're gonna love that. That was hands down the best meal we've had while we've been away.
That was absolutely fantastic.
Every bite was just full of flavour. That was amazing. Such a great recommendation, guys. Thank you so much. I chose a restaurant, even the waiters were like, this is the best place in the state. So yeah, really good. And that came to $45. We added a $10 tip, but all the food came to $45 for those 2 big mains, the sides of sopapillas. He bought extra sopapillas at the end. We had 3 drinks, 2 baskets of tortilla chips and salsa for $45, which is amazing. So, and it was so delicious, like so tasty. So
highly.
We are well and truly stuffed. I think we're gonna go have a look and see what Santa Fe is like, aren't we? One of the world's great art cities, Santa Fe defies any attempt to put it into a box. The streets are lined with terracotta Pueblo-style buildings and more boutiques, handmade craft shops and galleries than you can count. It has a mystical, otherworldly energy that's hard to put into words. We could have wandered around here for days, but the winter sun was setting fast.
We're in Madrid, New Mexico, Madrid, not Spain. But it's amazing. It's literally just a road full of like artisan shop, art, herbs, stones, crystals, random stuff. It just looks really cool. Live music, taverns. Awesome. And the houses are so cool. Oh, now we're leaving Madrid.
We've left now. We're going to make our way towards a campsite tonight down near Albuquerque, which is kind of where there's a few things that we want to see tomorrow. But it is like an hour and a half away, and it's starting to get dark. And the camp is, I think, another like dispersed campsite in the hills. So keeping our fingers crossed that we get there before it turns pitch black.
That expanse of just nothingness.
Okay, light bar, activate. What the hell is this? It's like a step.
Flipping heck. Oh my god, look at the state of it.
There's so much snow here. Oh my word. Look at this ground. This is a bit, you don't want to come in wet weather. Because it's so cold, it's completely firm, which is great, so it's fine. But if it rains and this turns to mud, we'll 100% get stuck in that because it's really, really deep.
Mostly cloudy, and so it's not forecast any rain.
Okay, so we're going to try and park in this bit because it looks like the most level. You can see all the snow on the ground. Okay, stop! Tree!
Ooh. It's raining. The last thing we wanted is for the mud to get wet. I was going to check, it might be snowing, I'm not sure. Oh, it's going to be cold. Oh my god, it's snowing.
It's snowing?
It's snowing. Look at it. You're not 100% sure what to do. Like, but have a quick look and see what you think.
Oh my god, that's not just white, babe, that's full on.
Yeah. That's in the space of like, what, 15 minutes? This bit actually doesn't look too bad, we'll be fine, but the problem is where we came in, there's quite a steep slope, and we don't want it to like freeze or ice over or anything, so we're gonna move, because otherwise we'll end up sliding down and crashing, and we don't want that.
This camp spot is quite high up. We were climbing quite a bit to get here, which is our main concern, is just getting back down again. Like up here seems alright because the road's pretty solid. But yeah, it's just getting down those steep slopes again. I hear that bloody...
So this is the road, as you can see, like it's completely snowed over. And the problem is we don't know if it's going to get any heavier. Just breaking down, I can feel it sliding a little bit.
It looks a bit better down here, it's not settling quite so much.
No, exactly, it's not settling on the road, so what we'll do is just find somewhere to pull over and we'll just...
Well, we've made it down out of the mountains. It's a bit of a less scenic park up than I'd hoped to wake up to.
Yep, escape out of the snow successful. We are now...
I don't know if you can see on here, we were like right up in these hills where that big thick cloud is, and it's just like a massive snowstorm.
Wow, look at it, yeah.
Yeah. But that was not the start to the morning that I think any of us were expecting. Yeah, what a change from this morning. These dark, stormy snow clouds, and now it's like blue skies. All good? Okay. If you wondered what the winter weather was like in New Mexico, the nights have rarely gone above like minus numbers. The days rarely go above like 10 degrees. But even though it's really cold, it's like sunny blue skies most of the time, so it's not too bad. But we're just outside Albuquerque right now. As you may know, New Mexico is home to a lot of Native American tribes who have lived here for thousands of years. And around the country are lots of petroglyph sites, which are basically rock art left behind by Native Americans. This site in particular has 25,000. There's loads of trails to go on. So we're gonna go and get blown around and look at some petroglyphs, look at some rock art.
So we spotted our first petroglyph. It's about halfway up here, and to me it looks like a deer. So depending on the time of day, the sun, the cloud, it all depends on if the petroglyph is visible. Okay. So there might be one we can't see because of how the sun's shining on it. Look, there's a spiral one here, and then over here is like a sun, almost like a number one, and what looks to me like a duck.
So the people that carved these petroglyphs were the ancient Pueblans. They lived along the Rio Grande about 2 miles from here. and a lot of the symbols are still used by modern day Pueblans for like ceremonial purposes, but a lot of them, the meanings have been lost over time, and they say that for a lot of them, only the creator of the petroglyph will ever know the true meaning of it.
To keep in the theme of like New Mexico and aliens, this one here looks to me like a flying saucer with a dome on the top beaming something up. I'm just saying, they could be connected. Can you see that man up there dancing?
Yeah.
That is the best, most clear one I think we've seen so far. There's a snake there, and then just below the snake is like a deer or something lying down.
All the petroglyphs are carved into this like volcanic rock behind us. They're not really sure why they chose this volcanic rock to carve the petroglyphs into. They think maybe that the volcanic landscape is sacred, or maybe it's just for more mundane reasons like marking like a trading route or communicating with other tribes and stuff.
It looks like a giant sperm. This one here is so cool. No idea what it is.
Wow, there's like a whole massive boulder up there. So here you can see the Rinconada Canyon behind, and you can just get a sense of like the volcanic rocks. There must be thousands and thousands and thousands of these huge black boulders just like falling out over the hills. That was so much fun walking around those petroglyphs earlier. Never seen anything like that before, and we didn't really expect there to be so many. You'd be able to see them so clearly after all this time. And that trail was empty. We passed like 2 people on it. It was so amazing. We're now driven about an hour west out of Albuquerque. We're officially on a section of the old Route 66, which is pretty awesome. It's amazing how in one state the landscape just changes so much, and how different the desert can be in different areas. Down near Roswell and White Sands, it was very flat and like sand-like desert, and then around near Santa Fe, it was all like rolling hills. And now in Albuquerque, it's very mountainous and quite harsh desert, and we're starting to reach these mesas, which are these tall, like, what would you call them? Like flat-topped pillars rising out of the desert. Very classic Western and very, very cool to see.
We're just running alongside this really, really long train. It's really cool, proper American style cargo train.
So we've just come off Route 66 to come and find the village of Acoma. It's an ancient pueblo, which is a Native American settlement perched on the very top of like this huge pinnacle, kind of like not dissimilar to Meteora, but on a much bigger scale. We can't actually get up onto the settlement because you can only go on tours. They only run like 2 days at the weekends. It's midweek right now. But even just driving through, we just want to look at it.
It looks insane.
It's just like something from like a film. It's just this jutting out of the ground. It's amazing.
What a landscape.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Well guys, we just made a bit of a muck up. That wasn't Sky City. That over there is Sky City, where the buildings are on the top. We were just looking at a really cool big rock. That rock, it looks amazing. Here is the actual Sky City, and you can see the buildings built on top.
Okay, that makes more sense.
That makes more sense, because I was thinking, there's no road. How is there no road?
If you've watched any of our videos from our Europe and Turkey trip, this landscape, the best way I can describe it is like some mix between Cappadocia and Turkey, Meteora in Greece, but on steroids.
Yeah, 100%.
It's one of the most phenomenal places that we've ever driven.
Okay, so that's Acoma Sky City there, and that is the cool rock we mistook it for originally.
What a landscape though.
Once again, we are racing the sun to get to our camp spot for the night before it sets. We've got 20 odd miles down this road and hopefully we'll make it in time tonight. Where the fuck is it?
Well, apparently it's saying it's in there.
Wow, it looks like we're going to an invisible campsite because it doesn't look like it exists. It says we've got to go over there, but there was no road.
It's definitely not there, is it? That was a bit of a fail, and the other camp spots near it are also non-existent. We think it might be behind some gates where it's saying area closed, which is a bit of a pain because it's getting dark now, and the nearest one is that we can find is a half an hour drive away. I found a free dispersed campsite about 45 minutes away. It's back on ourselves, which is very annoying, but it's actually on Google Maps as a dispersed campsite, so we know that it's there at least. So we're gonna try that because out here it's just getting higher and higher and colder, you're good, and darker and darker, and we don't want to be going down these sketchy mud dirt roads. If we got stuck down here, I don't know when, there's not much passing traffic, you know the situation. So yeah, we're gonna turn around, head to this other dispersed campsite, and fingers crossed it's their time lucky.
Well guys, we've called it. It's too far to go when it's this dark. We're still another half an hour away from where we wanted to be, so we're going to stop in Walmart, which we've not done for a while.
We haven't stayed in Walmart for ages.
Exactly, so
we'll head to
tonight will be Walmart, and then we'll head to the parking place tomorrow. So
first thing tomorrow morning.
First thing tomorrow morning, yeah.
Okay.
So we had a good night in the Walmart car park last night, up bright and early to where we were supposed to finish off yesterday. Oh, it's a bit bumpy.
New Mexico has pulled it out of the bag once again with an epic park up. I haven't forgotten that I told you that something a bit weird but also special happened in the guitar shop when I came to buy this. I'll just quickly explain the context of when my dad passed. A couple of days afterwards I was on a walk and I got to this gate and it was beautiful sunset, and I was like, I'm going to try this because I've never lost someone this close to me before. And I was like, if you're there and there's some sort of spirit connection, can you give me a sign, Dad? Like, let me know that you're here. I want it to be a bird and I want it to be obvious. I don't just want to see like a bird flying past. Anyway, went on this walk and I didn't see anything. And to be honest, I kind of didn't really think anything of it. And when we came back, I came past this gate again, and the same spot where I'd asked, there was this little blackbird on the floor, and it was just looking up at me and just hopping around and looking up at me and hopping closer and looking up, and it just felt really like, wow. So when I got home, I googled like the meanings of blackbirds, and they are seen as messengers from spirit. Shamans use their song for journeying because they're beautiful songbirds, and the black colour is associated with the other world, so they're seen as messengers from spirit. What really hit me hard was when I read that if you see a dead blackbird, it's a sign of a significant death. And I'd completely forgot that the day that I found out my dad was really poorly, like really ill when he was going, was I'd come back from Devon and we pulled up on the drive and I opened the door and there was a dead blackbird right outside my passenger door. And I remember, because I had to stop Scout from trying to get to it and sniff it and stuff, and I remember thinking, it looks beautiful, like it looks like it had fallen out of the sky. It didn't look like it had been attacked by anything, it was just on its back with its wings spread. And yeah, I'd completely forgot that I'd seen that, so I had this little blackbird connection. But then on my dad's funeral, in the crematorium there was a big glass window and there was a little garden outside, and literally we came and sat down and I was sat closest to the window, and this blackbird came down and sat right in the middle. There was no other birds around, and it just sat there splashing around and looking, and you know how birds kind of look sideways at you, and it was looking in, hopping around and just staring, and just sat there. And I can't tell you the peace that I felt when I saw that bird. And it was there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, like it was there for ages. And it was splashing around a little bit, but it was mostly just watching. And I just felt like he was there and not there in the room, if you know what I mean. But since then I haven't really had any kind of blackbird experience again, not on my birthday, but I did on New Year's Day, and there was a blackbird outside the van window, and it was just staring in, and it was on New Year's Day, and it just was staring in this like particular way, and it was just hopping around and looking up, and I was just like, hi Dad, and it was just a nice moment. But what happened in the guitar shop, and what I wanted to tell you, is that we went into this room where there's like the more expensive guitars, and as I went in there were 2 guys, and they were playing the guitar and they were playing Blackbird by the Beatles. So I thought that was a really, really special and poignant like moment, and what a song of all songs for them to be playing when I went in to go and have something in memory of my dad, and something that I was doing for him and his memory, and they were playing Blackbird. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. And actually something else happened in Santa Fe after that, but I will save that maybe for next week so that I'm not like boring you now. But yeah, very, very special memories with this guitar already, so yeah. That's not really how I play it, by the way. Not going to hear me playing just yet. We might have been defeated by the snow this week on a couple of occasions, but there is definitely something in the air in New Mexico. Don't forget to give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to join us next week as we truly begin our journey over to Baja California in Mexico. Until next week, bye!